spectators or administrators will not be tolerated, and our grounds for removal from the premises. The use of artificial noisemakers and alcohol products are not permitted. For the health and safety of our spectators and those around you, smoking is not permitted in the stadium area.
Welcome to Nemoli Family Stadium. We are ready for an exciting softball doubleheader between two conference rivals not playing in conference play. The Florida Southern Moccasins face the Tampa Spartans. And this game is a little bit earlier than what was originally scheduled because of inclement weather this weekend. The games were pushed from Saturday to Friday night, so we'll have a little bit of a show under the lights as day turns to night around Game 2. But for now, we're ready for Game 1 to get underway between the Spartans and Mocs. So, the Mocs will bat first, and leading off for them will be Jaden DeWitt. DeWitt has been the strongest hitter for the Moccasins all season, averaging .469, 2 RBIs, and is an OPS of 1.019 and 49 plate appearances and at-bats, which is really good to start out the season. Her first matchup from the circle will be facing off against Mary Beth Feldman. Feldman has had a great season for the Spartans. In 7 appearances, 5 starts, has a 3-1 record, a .46 ERA and 26 Ks in just 30 innings pitched. Last time Feldman was in the circle, Feldman nearly went perfect, allowing 1 hit in a 7-inning shutout. A complete game, and did it really well. It was a pretty strong 1-0 Spartans win. Meanwhile, the Spartans were able to kick off and get out of a 4-game losing skid recently, and now find themselves on a 4-game winning run. In those 4 games, they only conceded 2 runs. Both of them were to Southwest Minnesota State yesterday, where Tampa won 5-1 in the first game, and with the game being called after 5 innings, 9-1 in the second. They'll enter this contest with a record of 15-8. Florida Southern enters with a record of 7-10. This will be the first meeting for each team this season, so we'll have to see how it goes. The first pitch is taken outside, so Feldman will fall behind in the count from the circle to start the game. Able to draw right back even, now level it up 1-1 to Jaden DeWitt. So the 1-1 to DeWitt, that's going to be taken for ball 2. And that's going to be strike 2. DeWitt tried to go for it there, but missed the bunt. The infield playing in. The 2-2 now. That's going to be taken outside for ball 3, so the count will go full. A chance for the Mocs to get a base runner. Feldman hadn't conceded a walk in her previous outing from the circle. And that one will be fouled away. So the at-bat will stay alive. Good job to already bring the pitch count up, too. Corinne Miners playing at third for the Spartans as the third base player. Stephanie Ballmer at shortstop. Alexa Russo as the second base player. And Emily Jansen as the first base player. And a walk will be issued here with the ball 4 taken outside. A good eye there by Jaden DeWitt. And good to actually be able to draw such a walk. Feldman hasn't been very active in conceding those all season. That only will be her 10th of the whole year. Now stepping up for the Mocs, it's as the second batter will be Kelsey Peck with a runner on. That'll be taken for strike one. I have to wonder if DeWitt will try to steal second. Have to keep the eye on both players here. As Feldman goes with the 0-1. Will drop the sacrifice. A really well dropped bunt. The throw to first, not in time. Going to third. Safe as well. And chaos on the base path. It's now allowed runners to get to second and third. So what had happened there? A really nicely dropped bunt from Peck. Picked up and fired to first by Emily Jansen. But that throw was not in time. Seeing how slow that throw was going, DeWitt said, hey, I might as well go for third, and she did. Corinne Miner rushed back and applied a tag, but was a few steps late, and that also allowed Beck, with all the commotion going on, to slip to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position off the sacrifice that led to a great hit and a little bit of chaos that now will put a lot of pressure for Feldman in the circle. It also now opens up a chance for Destiny Colgate to try to make some more offense. Colgate has a home run and 10 RBIs alongside a .327 average so far, and I hope to have that improve right here. That one's fouled away, so the count will go to 1-1. But that previous play was perfect. The sacrifice was going to work no matter what, because the ball just landed directly into the dirt and wasn't even able to be fielded for a while, and Beck was able to beat the throw to first and then slide to second with all the commotion happening. Here's the 1-1 now, and that one will be fouled away. 52 at-bats and 17 hits, of course, for Colgate. And Colgate will be hoping to get hit 18 here, because it would certainly drive home a run or even 2. But down 1-2 in the count to Feldman, hoping to retire the first batter of the inning. 1-2 from the circle. Taken low for ball 2. Tyrone Miller is the home plate umpire, and Steve Lewis is the infield umpire, drifting around from shortstop to first base, wherever he needs to be to get the best view of the action. Once again, fouled away. The count will stay at 2-2. Colgate staying alive here. Feldman. That one's going to be chopped down. Stays just foul. Looked like it was going to stay fair, but rolled just enough. Really smart play there by Feldman and Miner to not pick it up and let it go. So wouldn't load the bases. We'll go again for the 2-2 one more time. And that was a very interesting tip right there. It looked like it was going to stay fair, but just had enough momentum to roll foul. Otherwise, it would have looked pretty silly to have watched it stay fair and allow a single. But that one's now going to go to center field. Tracking back is Galehouse. Can't make the grab. That will definitely score 1. The throw in to Ballmer, and that will score 2. So uncharacteristic there. And a disappointing start for Feldman. Not entirely her fault, as the bunt play did put the runners in that position. But that double right there off a well-hit ball from Colgate will send both home. And now give a 2-run lead for the Mocs with that 2 RBI double. And now Maya Moy will step up. With a runner in scoring position, the game could continue to be blown wide open. And interestingly, the amount of runs conceded here have been more than the Spartans conceded in the last 4 games. This is a team that thrives with strong defense. So Florida Southern having a great start here. That one's going to be lined down the third base line. It'll be a sigh of relief, though, because it was well out of play. Maya Moy hitting .379 of the year in the cleanup spot, alongside 12 RBIs. And this is the type of situation you'd love to have Moy in. With a runner on, no outs, and in scoring position. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Bounces off Ballmer's glove. So, that'll allow a single off what might be ruled an error. They'll actually call it a fielder's choice, and there'll be some deliberation on whether the runners out or not. Umpires talking with coaches. For now, we still see Colgate at third. The thing is, as it bounced off of Colgate on the run, would that count as an attempted tag and out or not? That doesn't stop the fact that Moy will be able to reach first. And we'll have to see what the umpires will rule on it. And Colgate will be out. So the first out of the inning will be made there on the fielder's choice. And so now with a runner on first with one out, Skylar Ralston will step up, Florida Southern. One out, runner on, firing from the circle. Taken on the outside corner for strike one. So, Ralston has had 25 at-bats this season and has averaged .360 and slugged .400. But now is down 0-2 with a good start from the circle in this at-bat for Feldman. It sometimes can be hard to talk about stats with the pace of play. And Feldman, just like the other Spartans pitchers, is very fast with it. That one fouled away. Good job there by Ralston to stay alive. Ralston 3 RBIs this season and has also drawn 2 walks. The 0-2 now from Feldman. That one is going to be popped up. Rolls off the net, so we'll go again. And finally, the ball that was on the net falls down. Gives a small break in the action. You see Feldman re-putting on the pitcher's mask. And we've already seen it come to use this season as a line drive hit into Feldman, forcing her to sit out the rest of the game. But that mask prevented any major injury, which is great to see. Feldman was able to get back moving after the other starts. And entering the game with a .46 ERA, it's definitely a surprise to see the Spartans down with 2 runs already scored for Florida Southern. 2 good takes in a row, bring the count to 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 to Ralston. That one's going to be sent to the outfield. Galehouse tracking it down. This time will be able to make the catch. Moy will retreat back to first, and that is the second out of the inning. After what was a little bit of a rocky start, the Spartans are firing back. And if they can retire Vicky Rodriguez, they'll be able to get out of the jam. So this season, Rodriguez, not the world's most consistent hitter for Florida Southern, only averaging .175, but also has 4 RBIs alongside a triple. A triple would definitely be the best case scenario for Florida Southern, and with a home run unlikely at the Mole Stadium, it's not a very home run friendly ballpark, you could say. It would help blow the game even further open, but right now, Rodriguez down 0-2 in the count. Entering the at-bat, Feldman, 24 pitches from the circle, would hope to get a first strikeout here, or at the very least, get out of the inning. Readies, and here's the 0-2. Just taken outside for ball 1. The 1-2. And strike 3. The side will be retired. However, the Moccasins won't be too disappointed with straining 1 runner. They did the damage they needed to. A 2 RBI double gives them a 2-0 lead entering the bottom of the first. We'll be right back as the Spartans get ready for their turn at the plate.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
So, after that final warm-up pitch, we are ready to go for the bottom of the first. The Spartans already find themselves trailing, but with the top half of the order coming up, the Spartans will be hoping to turn that around. However, from the circle, they'll have to have the ability to defeat Kayla Hickey. Kayla Hickey is making her first start of the season for the Moccasins, although she has had 6 innings of relief from the circle so far. In that 6 innings, she's been able to put up 5 strikeouts, but also has conceded 3 walks. The freshman from Altamonte Springs, Florida, will have a nice little 2-run buffer as she gets ready to take on a Spartans offense that has scored 14 in the last 12 innings. That one's going to be taken inside. Ball 1. Leading off again for the Spartans, as she has for the last few games, is Mariah Galehouse. And Galehouse has been on fire. Unsurprisingly, not just the best pitcher for the Spartans, has also given herself a lion's share of run support this season, and will be hoping to continue it right here. Galehouse slashing .347, .368, and .431 as she takes ball 3, getting well ahead in the count. Has 9 RBIs alongside a home run in 72 at-bats. The 3-0, we could see her get on base to start off for the Spartans right here. And forget just getting on base with a walk. That'll be a hit by pitch, as that one just goes a little bit too inside. And I know Galehouse will be a little disappointed with that one, because a walk looks a little bit nicer than a hit by pitch, and you don't also have to deal with the ball that goes in and hits you. The coach already talking to Hickey on the mound, trying to make sure that she is A-OK after that first at-bat. A tough first start going up against what usually is a conference rival. The Spartans and Moccasins have had some fun rivalries across other sports, including soccer, volleyball. And obviously, wasn't an intentional hit by pitch, just accidental there. But it might fuel a little bit of the bad blood more, as Stephanie Ballmer will now step up with a runner on first. I think Hickey motioning over a little bit apology to Galehouse, and now has Ballmer here, ready with the 0-0 count. And Ballmer is able to pull back for ball 1, but a good reaction there from Rodriguez, who is the catcher for the Moccasins, to try to fire it back to first. However, it wasn't fielded cleanly enough by Maddie Connor, so Galehouse not able to be picked off there. But now a 1-0. That one's going to be taken inside for ball 2. And so far, the 6 pitches thrown by Hickey have all been balls. And now readying the 2-0. That one's going to be taken for ball 3. The sacrifice might not be possible for Ballmer. Has been able to pull back every single time. And we'll see if they can get it down. The infield already very far in. And that will simply be ball 4. The sacrifice doesn't work, but it still advances Galehouse as Ballmer gets on with another walk. So Fantone will now have a runner in scoring position and at first. And that already is a good start for the Spartans bats, because they're already down 2-0. They love to cut that deficit. That one's going to be taken for strike 1. And that'll allow Hickey to get ahead of her first batter from the circle. The previous 2, she had started behind in. That could turn her fortunes around. That's going to be taken just outside. Rodriguez having a good eye on the Spartans runners. And we also see Moy playing at third as the third base player, all the way in, ready for any sacrifice attempt. Fantone flashes a sacrifice, but that's taken inside the zone for strike 2. So 2 runners on. We'll have to see what happens here. Hickey ahead from the circle, fires the 1-2. That one's going to be fouled away. Will it stay in play? No, it's going to go off the netting. So we'll go 1-2 again. On deck is Curran Minor, one of the stronger hitters for the Spartans. Would love a situation with 2 runners on. Would even love it if there were 3. Here's the 1-2 from Hickey. Now it's going to be taken in the dirt outside. Rodriguez stays on top of it to make sure the runners can't go. So Ballmer ready, the 2-2 right here this season. Fantone ready to go. That's going to be taken in the dirt for ball 3. Fantone thought it was ball 4, and that's caused a little commotion on the base path. And it's actually going to lead to an out for Maria Galehouse, who's caught in a pickle. It'll give an accidental stolen base for Ballmer, but that is just a very weird play. As you saw Fantone drop the bat and ready to take the base, but it definitely wasn't ball 4, and as Ballmer and Galehouse also moved ahead, it caused Galehouse to be out. But that one's going to be driven into the outfield. Ballmer's going to go home. The throw from right field, not in time. Fantone will be out at second, but the run will score, so it is an RBI. So 2 very weird plays right there, but the important thing to take away is Galehouse was picked off. Fantone was able to get a single into right field, which did score Ballmer from second, but Fantone tried to take 2 after the throw home and was picked off for the second out. So 2 outs here, bottom of the first, Corinne Minor with no one on, hoping to keep the inning alive, to keep the Spartans' comeback alive too. 1-0. That one's taken down the middle. Strike 1. This season, Curran Minor has 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. And might be able to beat the throw. Nope, just a few steps behind as she grounds out to Moy at third. The side is retired. The Spartans get 2 walks, a base hit, and a run. It won't strand anyone as the inning comes to a close. We'll be right back for the start of the second inning, where the Moccasins will try to expand their lead.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
So we're back. Top of the second here. It's been a pretty eventful start. 3 runs already on the board. Florida Southern was able to score 2 off the pitcher who has actually been the best at run prevention for the Spartans. Those 2 runs were able to get to scoring position off a very weird, chaotic bunt play. But Feldman has plenty of time to try to fight right back and will get ahead in the count after a foul ball from Connor. So Maddie Connor stepping up here to lead off for Florida Southern. This season so far, Maddie Connor has hit .271 alongside 3 RBIs. That one's going to be very much inside for ball 1. And a little bit disappointing maybe for Connor because it was just 2 inches away from grazing off her. Would have given her the free base. But now, 1-1 from Feldman from the circle. Fouled away, so Feldman will get ahead in the count 1-2. Feldman looking to retire the senior from Fort Lauderdale here. That one's going to be grounded short. Ballmer picks it up. The throw is in time to record the first out. Good play there by Ballmer to get it, as that was a very slow and shallow infield ball. And is able to fire the throw to Emily Jansen just in time. And now it'll bring up Kiki Morris. So with 1 out here, Feldman fires to Morris. That's going to be very low in the dirt for ball 1. Morris this season hitting .288 and has a .689 OPS alongside 6 RBIs. That's a swing and a miss for strike 1. A big whiff right there. Entering this at bat, Feldman already at 32 pitches, primarily because of that chaotic first inning. Here's the 1-1. That one's going to be taken high for strike 2. High and inside the zone. And has a chance to record a second strikeout right here. The 1-2. The call held up in time. Miller needed just the extra opinion at first. And Steve says, Kiki held up. I'll have the 2-2 right here. Fouled away. So the at-bat will continue, and it lands in the Florida Southern bullpen. We'll say that Florida Southern's done a great job of extending at-bats and putting some pitches on Feldman. The Spartans will most likely want Feldman to go the distance if she can. They usually don't try to use relievers if they don't need to. And I don't imagine that would change here. Fouled away now. Still 2-2. Feldman will definitely be disappointed that Morris has continued to stay alive. Two here. Fouled away once more. We see a few more fans coming in as Feldman records strike 3 for the second out of the inning. The breaking pitch was able to retire Kiki after the long at-bat. And now Chloe Potts, the 9-hitter, will step up here for Florida Southern, as Feldman will hope to complete a 1-2-3 second inning. That one's going to be taken for strike 1. Chloe Potts, in only 5 at-bats this season, is hitting .400. That average might be going down if she can't get on base here. The count is tied at 1-1. 0-2 actually. Feldman getting ready to go. And strike 3, it gets away from Chevalier, but fires it to Emily Jansen to retire the side. 2 strikeouts and no one allowed to get on board, as Feldman looking right back on fire as she has been all season, as the Spartans will now get ready to hit for the bottom of the second. Lexi Chevalier will lead it off. We'll be right back. Bottom of the second, ready to go. Mary Beth Feldman was just able to go 1-2-3 against the Moccasins in the second inning. And Kayla Hickey will be hoping to do the same as she will face off against Lexi Chevalier. Getting ready, the 0-0. That's going to be taken for ball one, just a little bit high. Chevalier now, 1-0 in the count. That one's going to be taken high and inside for ball two. A good eye to start the at-bat for Chevalier. But that one will be strike one, so the count will go to 2-1 there. Hickey ready with the 2-1 from the circle. That one is going to be popped up by Chevalier. It stays in play, but drops. So that's just the kind of, do you have it? No. Do you have it? No. Do you have it? No. So with no one having it, the count goes to 2-2, and Chevalier stays alive. And that's probably a sigh of relief for Chevalier, because you get another little chance right here. And for Hickey, that's a little bit disappointing. You thought you had your first out of the inning, but you need to wait one more pitch. Chevalier grounds it to the pitcher. Throw is just in time. Chevalier out by a step. It went to the circle, and a good play by Hickey to fire it to first in time. And of course, a good play by Connor, the first base player, to pick it up. So with one out, it'll bring Alexa Russo up, hoping to generate some offense for the Spartans. Ready with the 0-0. Swing and a miss there on Russo. A good breaker in the dirt. Fooled her. And that'll put Hickey ahead 0-1. That one's going to be taken just outside. One's on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the Spartans have 1 run on 1 hit. That one's going to be driven to left. It was a little bit inside, and Russo had some good contact, but it was a little more than just a little bit to the left. It went right into the Spartans' bullpen. So now Russo down 1-2 with 1 out. They bring the ball in. Moccasins, a slightly slower pace of play here, although we don't see the wristband that sometimes we see other teams wearing. Now the 1-2. Taken well outside, a good eye by Russo to not fall for the bait. 2-2 right here. Spartans' second base player. 2-2. That one's going to be driven to right. It'll stay fair and not able to be caught. That'll give extra bases to Russo. Round second, heading for third. The throw will get in to prevent an inside. Russo's going to go home. The throw to home. An inside the park home run, and the first home run of the season for Alexa Russo. And I think that will just be judged as a home run. Not sure whether it was a throwing error or a fielding error on the play. But what a play by Alexa Russo. Saw the ball still in the outfield at third base and said, hey, I might as well just try to take home. And guess what? She beat the throw and gets the run for the Spartans. That's going to be very disappointing for Hickey. And especially disappointing for Potts in right field, who almost came away with a great catch. And unfortunately just bounces off the glove, rolls to the wall. Given the extra bases, the throw to the cutoff and throw over to third didn't stay in play well enough and allowed Russo to snag home for an inside the park home run. That's not a home run where you say see ya after it, but it's still 1 run nonetheless, and it'll mean the game is tied. And now we get to see Siegel, the designated player, get a 1-1 count now with 1 out. Siegel's had some great pinch hit appearances this season, and I'll hope that luck continues right here. But that one's going to be taken for strike 2, just inside. On deck is Emily Jansen. First off to see if Siegel could get on base. That's going to be grounded to third, fielded cleanly. And Siegel can't beat out the throw, but is only a step behind. So good job with the hustle to try to make it. Good grab by Connor off the throw from the third base player, Maya Moy. So Emily Jansen here with 2 outs, looking to keep this inning alive for the Spartans, to potentially try to break the tie that had just formed, and also give Perkins a chance to have her first at-bat. That one's going to be taken high and a little bit inside as we see Emily Jansen duck away. (1-0). Fouled away. Almost was going to stay in the infield, but rolls backwards. Entering this at bat, Hickey has only fired 29 pitches from the circle, although there have been 2 earned runs, alongside a walk and hit by pitch and 2 hits. Now the 1-1. That one's going to be taken inside for ball 2. And thank you, of course, for tuning in to Tampa Spartans TV. I'm Taylor Storworthy on commentary tonight. 2-1. That one is going to be taken low and just a tad outside. Now 3-1 count. A good job by Emily Jansen to get ahead. And now a chance for her to try to get on base with a walk or with a good hitter's count, a potential hit. That one's taken just high for ball 4. Third walk that isn't, well, including the hit by pitch, because it was going to be ball 4 if it didn't hit into Gallhouse. Perkins now has a runner on first with 2 outs. It's now Avery Perkins here, looking to generate a little more offense for the Spartans. That one's going to be taken for strike 1. This season, Perkins is slashing .333, .370, and .431, alongside 4 RBIs. That one's going to be grounded to short. Perkins has the legs and beats the throw by a step. Great job by Perkins to beat it out. And with 2 outs, it'll bring the top of the order back up. So Mariah Gallhouse ready for her first true at-bat here, as the last one ended in a hit by pitch. A little bit of a quick conference between Rodriguez and Hickey in the circle. Try to just say, Hickey, there's 2 outs, just focus on what you're doing, you can get out of this. Gallhouse ready to go. 2 away, 2 on. That's going to be grounded to third, but it'll be judged a foul ball, so no chance to try to get a throw back to first or the force out at third. But a good play by Moy, the third base player, just to pick it up. Gallhouse now, 0-1. That's going to be taken low for ball 1. Stephanie Ballmer on deck. She'd love a chance, potentially the bases loaded. That one's going to ground and once again go foul. Count will go to 1-2 for Gallhouse. As mentioned before, Gallhouse has been on fire at the plate for the Spartans. And if that run can continue here, it could definitely give the Spartans a lead. Now the 1-2. That one's going to be driven deep to center, but it'll be tracked down there by Morris, and the side is retired. The Spartans strand 2, but do tie the game off an inside the park home run. You don't see those every day. Alexa Russo will definitely be happy as she heads back to second base. And the top of the third will soon begin. We'll be right back at Tampa Spartans TV.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
We are back with the top of the order, ready to go again for Florida Southern. Jaden DeWitt was able to get on base with a walk last time and come home. Takes ball one right here. Opening up against Feldman from the circle. Feldman, 41 pitches in 2 innings. That one's going to be grounded to Steph Ballmer to throw to first in time. And that was actually a quickly fielded ball. Real big credit to DeWitt with the absolute speed to only be out by a step on that play. But a good play by Ballmer to make sure that it wasn't an infield single. So there's now 1 out. And now stepping up will be Kelsey Peck. Last time Peck was able to get a single. It's now 1-0. Peck is going to get under that one as it'll be an infield fly ball. Corinne Miner is going to be able to pick that up. So, Corinne Miner is able to get the second out of the inning for the Spartans. Colgate here with 2 outs. That's going to be taken just outside for ball 1. That one's going to be taken for strike 1. Count evens up. Feldman ready. The 1-1. That one's going to be driven to center field. Galehouse reads it, and the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 innings, and the Spartans will be ready to go with the bottom of the 3rd to try to break this 2-2 tie. Bottom of the 3rd, ready to go here. Tampa Spartans started off slow, but have slowly crawled their way back into a 2-2 tie. Most recently, it was a very, very big surprise when we saw Alexa Russo get an inside the park home run. And now Stephanie Ballmer, who was able to advance on a walk in the 1st inning, is going to hope to try to start off the Spartans' bottom half of the 3rd with a bang. Strike 2. That's a swing and a miss there. And good stuff from Hickey to force the whiff. So far from the circle, Hickey has 39 pitches, 2 walks, 3 hits allowed, a hit by pitch, 2 earned runs. No strikeouts yet, but we could see strikeout number 1. Count goes to 1-2, taken just outside. Also taken outside, ball 2. Twos all across the board. A 2-2 game at bat number 2, and a 2-2 count. That's going to be grounded to third. Maya Moy in time. Ballmer did a good job to try to beat out the throw, but just a step behind. Lauren Fantone already has an RBI off a single earlier this game, and will be hoping for similar fortunes in this at-bat. Taken inside, ball one. Hickey from the circle fires. Ball two. That's again the booth bias for me. It looked well outside of the zone, but just tapped that corner. So it looked like a ball. Actually, it's going to be strike one. That time, that is a ball. Ball two. That one was almost in the same spot, except a couple feet lower, right into the dirt. It's now 2-1 here. Fantone will line that down the first base line. The first base coach Rubio Weezy having to dive to the ground, Matrix-like reactions to avoid that foul ball. And now Hickey will have the 2-2 count and a chance to retire Fantone for out number 2. Hickey ready from the circle. Taken outside, Fantone checks up. Now we've got a full count, 1 out. Hickey ready to go with the payoff pitch. That one's going to be grounded to first. An easy play that's picked up by Connor. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Corinne is now ready to go with 2 outs, no one on, but a chance to try to help the Spartans' cause right here. 0-1 so far. I know that Miner would love to turn that around and make it 1-2, but I also know that Hickey would love to follow in suit from Feldman and make this a 1-2-3 inning. The 1-0 taken by Miner. Miner's now going to line that to third. Just drops off Moy's glove. The throw will be not in time. Ooh, I disagree with that call. I think that Miner was there, but a great reaction by Moy to save that play and retire the side. And we already see Tampa's coach up and talking about it. Ooh. So that'll retire the bottom half of the third. The Spartans go down in order, and a really close play there results in the final out. Spartans will be ready to go on defense. The game is still tied 2-2. We'll be right back. So we are here for the top of the fourth. After a 1-2-3 inning for Florida Southern, they'll be hoping that they can break this deadlocked tie. It's been tied since that inside the park home run in the second. And that first pitch is taken for strike one. And after a tough start with a little bit of chaos in the base paths and a couple runs being scored, Feldman has looked just as lights out as ever. But that one will get to the outfield. That's a base hit. And a good job by Maya Moy, who made a good play at third base to recover what would have been a fielding error, turning it into an out, and turns the first at-bat of the inning into a runner on first for her teammate, Skylar Ralston. We're taking a look. It looks like Jessica Bryson's getting ready off the bench. Might see a pinch runner here for Maya Moy, hoping to bring the runner home. So, that's confirmed. Bryson will step in as a pinch runner here. And now, with a runner on first, no outs, Ralston has a chance to try to break the deadlock. Feldman, 49 pitches, entering the inning, ready to go. That one's going to be an infield flyout. Good read there by Minor to make sure it isn't dropped. And that'll put one out with that runner still on base. So Victoria Rodriguez now ready to go. We've seen Rodriguez make some good plays from catcher today. 0 of 1 and hoping to turn that around right here. Rodriguez is going to get under that. Corinne chasing. Makes the play. Out number 2. And a good reaction there from Curran. Watching as Jessica Bryson just took a step off the bag. Just making sure that Minor was paying attention. If she wasn't, she could have swiped second on a little tag up. So now, 2 outs here. And now it will be Connor. That's going to be taken outside. Good play by Chevalier to make sure it doesn't go behind. Maddie Connor 0 of 1 today. Will also be hoping to keep the inning alive and turn that around. The 1-0 here from Feldman. That one's going to be fouled away, and it will land just out of play onto the visiting dugout. So, 1-1 now here to Maddie Connor, hoping to retire the side. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Reach for in the dirt, came up empty. Feldman now ready to go, 1-2 with 2 away. Taken just outside, ball 2. Good eye from Connor to stay alive in the at-bat. And I wonder if Bryson's going to try to steal second, being sent just because it is 2 outs. We'll have to wait and see. Fouled away. Stays alive once more. It's game 1 of the doubleheader, and it's been a pretty exciting contest so far. Excitement at a fever pitch. That is line drive right to Curran Minor. Good reaction to secure it very cleanly. And all 3 outs were headed her way this time, as it was another 1-2-3 inning after that leadoff hit, of course. Now the Tampa Spartans will be ready to go, and up next is Lexi Chevalier. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 4th.
Welcome to the University of Tampa. My name is Tucker Whitman and I'm a junior marketing major here at UT. Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of our beautiful Riverside campus here in downtown Tampa. We'll start at Plan Hall. This historic building was opened in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel and now serves as the main academic building here at UT, with 4 floors of classrooms as well as faculty and administrative offices. Next up, the Vaughn Center, the hub of campus life and activities. This multi-purpose building includes the campus bookstore, our primary cafeteria plus an additional food court, a theater, as well as offices and meeting rooms for student organizations. The Vaughn Center is also one of UT's residence halls, providing 5 floors of student rooms. Morsani Hall is another residence hall here at UT. In addition to housing approximately 450 students, this building offers another selection of eateries as well as a small grocery store. Now let's check out the Sykes College of Business. This academic building houses classrooms and faculty offices for UT's undergrad and graduate business students. This building also has a real-time stock trading room. Right next door is the Sykes Chapel for Faith and Values. This gorgeous interfaith chapel features a large main hall complete.
Here's the 0-0 to open up bottom of the 4th. That's going to be taken for strike 1. So we're back at the Moley Family Stadium. On Taylor Story Lead Live on Tampa Spartans TV, Lexi Chevalier will lead off for the Spartans, trying to break the 2-2 tie. That one's going to hit off Chevalier and be the second hit-by-pitch of the game for Kayla Hickey. Hickey so far has had a pretty solid start, her first of the season with the Moccasins. And now back at the plate is Alexa Russo. And the first time I've had the privilege of saying this in the booth, Alyssa Russo will be hoping to get another home run here. Last time it didn't need to go out of the park. It was an inside the park home run. This time it's just going to be a sacrifice bunt attempt. Goes fouls for strike one. We usually see Tampa play the strategy here of trying to get a runner to second with one out. The infield will definitely be pushed in after that foul bunt. The 0-1 here to Russo. Russo gets the sacrifice down, throw to second, not in time. Moy will turn back to first to make the throw there. Moy was hoping to try to get the lead runner out, but saw that it wasn't going to be in time. Instead, turns to make sure that out at first is done and dusted. So, Abby Siegel will now step up with one out and a runner in scoring position. That potentially could be the go-ahead run the Spartans have been looking for. Siegel 0-1 to start, but has had some great at-bats this season and hoping to bring a run home. That's taken for strike one. The 0-1 with one out. Taken, strike two. Siegel down behind in the count. Hickey hoping to get her first strikeout from the circle. And it would be a good chance to do so and a good opportunity, a good place. The 0-2. That's going to be grounded to the infield. Works as an accidental sacrifice, bringing the runner to third. Siegel only a few steps behind on the throw to first. Good job by Rodriguez to get the throw there in time. And of course, Rodriguez being Victoria Rodriguez, there are two Rodriguezes on the Florida Sun roster. So, we see Hickey review something with the umpire real quick. Just bring in a ball, get something a little bit cleaner. And now we see Emily Jansen with a runner at third. That's the go-ahead run. Jansen would love to bring it home. And I know for a fact that Chevalier would also love to go home as the runner and help the Spartans take that lead. That one's going to be taken for ball one. One out to Jansen. Jansen, that one's a little bit inside. Jansen swings and fouls that away. Count will go to 1-1 here. Entering the at-bat, Hickey at 59 pitches. Now ready to 1-1. That one's taken just outside for ball two. We see people in the bullpen, but no one actively warming up for Florida Southern. Generally, we normally see the bullpen empty with players in the dugout, but a little bit different for Florida Southern. 3-1 now to Emily Jansen. Perkins, 1 of 1 in her opportunities. Hoping to expand 1-for-1, potentially, with runners at the corners. And that will be runners at the corners if Emily Jansen can get on base, because that wasn't a walk, contrary to her belief. Count's now full with 2 outs and a runner on third. Hickey from the circle. And ball 4. That was a close one, but Emily Jansen gets to first. So now runners will be at the corners. And Avery Perkins, who was able to get a single last time around, would love to have that happen again, because it would definitely send the go-ahead run home. A little bit of pressure in the circle for Hickey, but any out will end the inning, so that definitely will alleviate any fears she has quite a bit. The lights are shining brighter as day starts to turn to night. It's been cloudy, so it's harder to see the sunset. Perkins going to bounce that down. sort of a bunt swing, and ultimately it's well fielded, and the side is retired. Tampa strands two once more. The game's still tied, entering the top of the fifth. We'll be right back.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
She is brave, she is strong. I'm singing from The Greatest Showman that was playing over the PA as Kiki Morris is ready to open up top of the fifth. I did some singing back in high school, and who knows, maybe I could be a D2 athlete if I pursued a little more athletic talent. Or probably not, I'm not super athletic. I'm getting well off track, just like that first pitch. It was outside the zone for ball one. That one's inside the zone and sent to the outfield. Fantone tracks it down and makes a clean first out. That was a well-hit ball, so a good job by Fantone to make sure that she was able to make that play. So that'll get the first out retired here, and brings up Chloe Potts, who's 0 of 1, hoping to get another hit for the Mocs. They've had 3 so far, and we're able to score 2 of them. That's a bunt picked up by Curran Minor, makes the throw to first, and 2 outs away relatively quickly. So we could see another 1-2-3 inning, as Feldman making quick work of the Mocs. Despite that lengthy first inning, only 60 pitches entering this at-bat. Good stuff from the circle so far, and I know she'll want to continue it as the top of the order is back up. DeWitt was able to draw a walk in the first inning, however, was out in her second at-bat, so for 1 on the day. That one's taken for ball 1. I know Feldman would love to retire her on strikes, or at the very least, just retire her as revenge for conceding that walk early on. That one's taken for strike 1 just on the outside corner. Feldman ready to go. 1-1. That's going to be taken outside. 2-1. Now you can see that clouds darkening a bit. Day has turned into night. And now 2-1. That's going to be to Russo. And grounded to Feldman. So that is another 1, 2, and 3 inning for the Spartans on defense. They'll hope to avoid that fate on offense. We'll be right back for bottom of the 5th.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Academic opportunities are extensive and rigorous, but this mid-sized residential campus retains a welcoming feel. With a student-faculty ratio of 16:1, students benefit from direct interaction with expert faculty, a faculty that is passionate about teaching and mentoring. Outside the classroom, UT enjoys a unique environment. Plant Hall, a National Historic Landmark, is surrounded by modern and historic buildings on 105 acres. UT's beautiful downtown riverfront setting offers a gateway to the heart of a vibrant city. Students are within walking distance of jobs and internships, and the
So we are back, bottom of the fifth for Spartans softball at the Namoli Family Stadium. Still 2-2 after an eventful first few innings. It's been a display of pitching prowess from the circle, swing and a miss. And you can tell Galehouse was leading off for the Spartans again. A little bit disappointed to miss that one. We rarely see her have whiffs like that. Down 0-1, looking to get back. Another swing and a miss. So some great stuff being shown right away from Hickey. Ahead 0-2 in the count. Galehouse down 0-2, hoping to get on base. That's going to be grounded to the circle. Hickey makes the throw. So that'll be the first out recorded right there to start out the bottom of the fifth. So we saw Hickey with a slightly slow start, but after that has been pretty solid. And being able to retire the Spartans' top hitter again is definitely a good sign to show that she is in the groove from the circle and ready to go to face Stephanie Ballmer, who was able to walk in her first plate appearance, but grounded out to go 0 for 1 so far. That one's fouled away. Actually rolls all the way to the outfield, but also very far out of play, so no real need to worry on that. 0-1 with one out. Kayla ready to fire. That's going to be bunted behind into Rodriguez's leg for strike 2. On deck is Lauren Fantone, who's 1 for 2 so far. And fouled away. So the 0-2 count's still alive. So signal from the ump says it's 1-2. It's now 1 out, 1-2. That's going to be grounded to third. Moy picks it up. The throw to first. I'm just kidding. That was a foul ball. Sometimes with these longer at-bats, you might want to try to spice it up a little bit. But you know what? There's also beauty in these long at-bats. The battle between the batter and pitcher. Hickey ready from the circle to 1-2 to Ballmer. Strike 3, the first strikeout of the game for Hickey. And that'll be the second Spartan retired this inning. Fantone will try to make it so the Spartans don't go down 1-2-3. Ironically, from their 1-2-3 batters. That'll be a huge confidence boost for Hickey, her 6th strikeout of the season. The 0-0. That one's going to be lined to right field, and this time Potts will make the catch, and the Spartans go down in order. It's been a quick second half of this game, and the 6th inning will be coming up right away with the Spartans ready to go, and Kelsey Peck leading off. We'll be right back.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents, get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
This sound like a fair trade to me to start out the 6th inning. Leading off will be Kelsey Peck. I know Peck would love to trade that 1-for-2 count and base at bat that she's had and turn that into a 2-for-3. That one's going to be taken for strike one. Entering the 6th inning, Feldman, 64 pitches. Doing a good job to keep that count low after what was a lengthy first inning. Here's the 0-1 to Peck. Taken just outside for ball one. One here from Feldman. That one's going to be popped into the infield, and Russo makes the simple catch. That'll bring up Destiny Colgate. Colgate has been the sole run scorer for the Moccasins with a 2 RBI double in the first inning. I know she'd love to spark some offense for the Mocs right here. That one is fouled away for 0-1. So after an explosive start with multiple runs being scored in the first couple innings, it's been pretty quiet from both offenses. They've generated some runners in scoring position and gotten some runners on base, but for a while they haven't been able to convert. We still got a little bit of time left, but we'll see which side will be able to convert next. 1-1 here with 1 out to Colgate. That one's going to be taken in the low corner for strike 2. Colgate hoping to get her second hit of the day. That one's going to be fouled away. Count stays 1-2. Spartans looking to improve to 16-8 here, or potentially to 17-8 if they can win Game 1 and Game 2. That'll be a lot easier said than done. So there's still plenty of time to go. Florida Southern also will hope to generate a little bit of success here. Their goal will be finished tonight, 9-10. But we still have 2 innings of play here, and then 7 more right next to see if that will happen or not. That one was also fouled away. The 1-2 one more time from the circle by Feldman. Grounded to short. Balmer makes the play, the throw, just in time. That's able to beat Cole by a couple steps. Good play there by Balmer to corral it and get the throw. And now Maya Moy, who's 1 for 2, steps up with 2 outs. Last time Moy was able to get on base, she was pinch ran for. But we'll see if Moy can generate some offense here. That one is fouled away. Tracking down Z.J. Jansen, but that's off the net, so the count will go to 0-1. One here for Moy. That one's going to be taken to the dirt for ball 1. Two outs here. Moy hoping to not let the Mocs go down in order once again. The 1-1 from Feldman. That one's taken for ball 2. Good eye from Moy to watch that sail past. The 2-1. That's taken just inside. And in the zone for strike 2. So we got 2s on the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And we still have a 2-2 ball game. Payoff pitch potentially to Moy right here. That one's fouled away, so we'll go one more time. Feldman ready from the circle. The 2-2. That is going to be a fast one that rides the dirt for ball 3. And with that ball 3 done and dusted, Skylar Ballston taking some warm-up swings. I know she'll be hoping to have a chance right here. 3-2. Fouled away once again. Moy staying alive here. As we watch the Spartans dugout nearly get hit by that foul ball. 3-2. Entering the at-bat, Feldman was at 72 pitches, but that number will definitely be higher afterwards. But the question is, can she retire the side right here? 3-2 with 2 away from the circle. Strike 3 gets her looking down the middle with the breaker. The side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for Feldman from the circle. On fire after the slower start. Spartans will be up, ready for the bottom of the 6th to try to get ahead and break this deadlock that has stood since the bottom of the 2nd. We'll be right back.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
It's not about any one thing. It's about how everything comes together, how it all connects. People, ideas, resources, community, everything. Quality of life services. That's what we do. Sodexo.
So, Curran Minor is going to be able to lead off for the Spartans. 0 of 2 so far, and one could argue that Curran is due for a hit. That one's going to be a fly to left field. It gets down. A little bit of miscommunication again from the Florida Southern fielders. Minor will now get to second with a wild throw. And I know that Mo Triner is going to be very disappointed with that series of fielding. We first saw the shortstop, Peck, and DeWitt running back, and neither of them seemed ready to pick it up. So it dropped in the middle of them, and then the throw back in there went wild and allowed Minor to just grab second off the play. So now Lexi Chevalier has a runner on second to start out bottom of the 6th with no outs. And that is the go-ahead run. Can Chevalier bring it home? Chevalier is going to lay down a sacrifice, gets the runner to third. Throw to first will be in time. The sacrifice works as Alexa Russo will be back up here. Russo already has an RBI, mainly batting herself in after a crazy inside-the-park home run. So, that previous play by Minor, there were 2 errors. An error on the drop and then an error on the throw. So now Russo, that home run last time. Russo, 1 for 1, because her most previous at-bat was a sacrifice. No sacrifice needed here unless Tampa wants to try the squeeze play. The 0-1. Russo's going to ground that to second. Minor's going to stay at third. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And now that will bring up what could be a pinch hitter for the Spartans. It indeed is. That is going to be Miranda Perez, who will be tasked in trying to send Curran Minor home. With runners in scoring position, the Spartans have hit 1 of 4 today, which, believe it or not, is better than they have in other games. They've been a team that's struggled to be clutch in times like this, and this is a type of period where you need to be clutch Tied game, bottom of the 6th. You could enter the top of the 7th with a lead and a chance to close it out. Perez would love to do that right here, as she's being called upon for that opportunity. So now, Hickey with 77 pitches on the day, ready from the circle for Perez. That one is taken for strike 1. A rundown for Perez in the season. A 2.50 average and 12 at-bats. That one's going to be taken just outside for ball 1. Perez has yet to get an RBI, so Perez would love to get that here. Fouled away, 1-2. Hickey will hope to get out of the jam right here, 1-2 with 2 away. Fouled away by Perez to stay alive. One, two. Perez will foul that away, once again staying alive. The pressure still on from the circle. Only 1 out is needed, but that out hasn't been so easy to get yet. Minor hoping to get home. Hickey ready to go. 1-2. That one's going to be lined. It won't drop down in time in the outfield. A great catch by Potts. So the game will still be tied entering the top of the 7th. Another runner stranded for the Spartans. That makes it 5 on the day. And up next for Florida Southern will be Skylar Ralston. We'll be right back.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. Incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
So we are ready to go. Top of the 7th. Skylar Ralston ready to lead off. Ralston 0 for 2 so far. Hoping to improve that right here. Feldman ready to go. Taken outside. On the corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 here for Ralston. Fouled away. Down now 0-2. Feldman 4 strikeouts so far. 79 pitches entering the at-bat. Only 3 hits surrendered, but thanks to some shenanigans in the base path that put runners in a great position for a 2 RBI double. 2 of those runs did end up coming home as earned runs for Feldman. Now from the circle trying to get the first out. That one's going to be grounded over to Ballmer. Ballmer so to first. In time. Ralston was close, but out by just a step. Good job by Ralston to keep it close with a decent hit. Ballmer, however, just had the slightly better play with a good field and throw. So, Vicky Rodriguez ready to go. Rodriguez is a freshman out of Longwood, Florida, and hoping to generate some offense for the Mocs right here. That one's going to be taken for ball 1. Feldman ready. That one's going to be lined to center field, and Gallhouse will get the second out. Good job tracking it and making the catch. We saw Galehouse was unable to stop that double in the first inning, but after that has been able to track all of those down and keep the Mocs bats at bay. Now all eyes will go to Maddie Connor for the Mocs. She'll be tasked with keeping the inning alive to try to break the 2-2 deadlock we've had since early on. That one's going to be lined to center field. Galehouse makes a nice catch, scooping it up and ending the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Spartans. Great work there from Mary Beth Bellman. And now the Spartans will come up here at the bottom of the 7th. Emily Jansen will lead off, followed by Perkins, and back at the top of the order with Galehouse batting 3rd.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
Emily Jansen will lead off for the Spartans in the bottom of the 7th. And of course, you have to take a look at Kayla Hickey and the circle. First start of the season, a lot of good work. 83 pitches in 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 hits, as well as a strikeout. She'll be hoping to complete this 7th inning nice and clean. That one's taken inside for ball 1 by Emily Jansen. Jansen so far hasn't had an actual at-bat. She's gotten on base twice thanks to walks. We'll wonder if Jansen can do that again. That one's going to be taken, however. And again will be ball number 2. Good start in the at-bat for Jansen. On deck, Perkins. That one's going to be taken just high. Ball 3. We could be looking at a number 3 in the walk column today for Emily Jansen as well. Would certainly be interesting to see for Jansen, who's only had 2 walks on the season entering tonight's game. And that will be walk number 3 tonight. Takes 4 pitches directly. And that'll be the 5th walk of the season for Emily Jansen, who's able to double with 1 extra the walk count total. So great eye being displayed. And Perkins will step up here. The winning run that could potentially end this game is at first. We'll wonder if Tampa will once again run that sacrifice that they generally like to do with a runner on and no outs. We already see Connor and Moy playing a little bit deeper in just in case. Perkins 1 for 2. Probably stay that way if the sacrifice is able to work. From the circle, here's Hickey. Sacrifice is going to miss. Looked like it might have tipped off the bat, but it might have been called as a ball. Interesting hand signs from the umpire, not fully sure. Perkins. Pick off to first. Connor was a little bit too in to try to make the tag. Looks like the count is 1-1. So Perkins even in the count here. Attempted pickoff again at first. Rodriguez trying to catch Jansen off guard. Hasn't worked yet. 2-1 here is called by Tyrone Miller. Hickey fires the 2-1. Sacrifice won't be able to get down and stay fair. So now it's 2-2. On deck is Galehouse, who is 0 of 2 so far. So 2's on the board with no outs. A 2-2 count. 2 runs, 2 hits. Well, 2-2. There are actually 3 hits for each team, but 2 teams with 3 hits and also 2 errors. Swing and a miss for Perkins. So that'll be a strikeout there. Second one for Hickey. And it'll bring it to 1 out for Maria Galehouse. It's Maria Galehouse ready to go with 1 out, hoping to drive the winning one home. She did that previously off a sacrifice the last time a Spartans game went to extra innings. That was to help her own cause and give herself a win. Today she'd be helping Fellman's cause. The 0-1. That's going to be grounded foul. The count will go to 0-2. Hickey, 92 pitches entering the at-bat. Would love to retire Galehouse quickly. It would bring up Stephanie Ballmer, who's 0 of 2 as well in her plate appearances. She'd love to go from 0 for 2 to something a little bit better, as would Galehouse. We'll see what happens. 0-2. Taken low for ball 1. And we're seeing Victoria Rodriguez immediately popping up and looking over at first, wanting to make sure that Emily Jansen isn't straying too far off the bag. 1-2 right here. Swing and a miss for Galehouse. She goes down with another strikeout for Hickey. And with 2 outs, it brings up Stephanie Ballmer. And Ballmer would love to keep the inning alive, or potentially figure out a way to bring Jansen home. That one's going to be taken for strike 1 inside. That looked very inside. Just rested on the corner. So strike 1. Ballmer so far has a walk, a ground out, and a strikeout. That one's going to be a catch. A good grab there by Colgate, and that'll retire the side. The Spartans get a base runner from a walk, but can't send him home. So, did someone say overtime? We're headed to extra innings. We'll be right back with the Moccasins hoping to go ahead. Top of the 8th here. We can't finish the game at 7. So, we've got inning number 8 to play. Mary Beth Fellman still in the circle for the Spartans, facing off against Kiki Morris, who is 0 for 2 so far. Kiki Morris struck out looking and also had a flyout. That one's taken for ball 1 to open up the 8th. 85 pitches and 7 so far for Fellman. That one's going to be grounded, picked up by Jansen. Throw to first. Not in time. Jansen wasn't able to field that quick enough to stop Kiki from reaching. So with that, that'll be the 4th hit of the day for the Mocs. And Chloe Potts, who is also 0 for 2, will be hoping to potentially either advance Morris or have a strong enough at bat that could bring her home and give the Mocs the lead. She struck out and grounded out in her first 2. That's a bunt that's picked up by Minor. Great read there to prevent the sacrifice from working. Curran was able to just run it down and catch it before it landed. Great awareness there. And unsurprising to see, Curran Minor not only solid from the circle and solid in the batting box, also solid as the third base player for the Spartans. Now up is Jaden DeWitt. With one out here, DeWitt takes the first pitch for strike one in the outside corner. So far with runners on, the Mocs are 2 of 9. They'd love to make that 3 of 10. 0-1 here to DeWitt. That's going to be taken outside for ball one. DeWitt was able to work a walk in one of her earlier at-bats, and Feldman hasn't conceded too many walks, and only one tonight. So, the 1-1 with one out. DeWitt flashes bunt and goes for it. Count goes to 1-2. A runner on, DeWitt down 1-2 in the count. Feldman readies from the circle and fires. That's going to be fouled away. Curran can't get to it. Count will stay at 1-2. And as we mentioned, DeWitt has had a strong season for the Mocs, drawing 4 walks and only striking out 5 times entering today. That number now is 5-5 after her first inning walk. Grounded to Curran Minor, fielded by Balmer, but bounces off Balmer, picked up by Minor, and not enough time for any throw. That's going to be an error for the Spartans. And that'll be disappointing for Balmer, one of her first errors. And I know Minor will be disappointed too, as she wasn't able to field it as well. So 1 out and 2 runners on. Feldman now having to take on Kelsey Peck. And Kelsey Peck was able to get a single earlier. Peck would love a second hit right here. That one's going to be taken low for ball one. The heart of the Spartans' order from Fantone, Minor, and Chevalier would be up next. If they need to score a run, those are the Spartan batters they'd love to have do it. Here's the 1-0 to Peck. That's going to be taken for strike one. Day has turned to night, and we still have at least 7 more innings to play after this. Feldman double tying her shoe. The worst case scenario would be the shoe to come off and causing a trip and error, so always got to make sure that's all set. Feldman now ready to go. 1-1 with 1 out and 2 runners on. Runner in scoring position, which would be the go-ahead run. Peck is going to fly that up, and it will land in Balmer's glove for the second out. That's 2 away, and will bring up Destiny Colgate. Colgate was able to get a 2 RBI double in the first inning. If she's able to replicate a big hit like that, it would give Florida Southern the lead. Feldman does not want to let that happen. 96 pitches entering this at bat. That's a line drive, and Galehouse makes the catch. The side is retired. Now the Moccasins will get 2 runners aboard, but aren't able to score them. Spartans will be ready for the bottom of the 8th with Fantone leading off. We'll be right back to see if the Spartans can win it.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
So we are back, bottom of the 8th right here. Lauren Fantone has got an RBI and is 1 for 3 so far, hoping to generate some offense to start the bottom of the 8th for the Spartans. Still in the circle, pitching ball 1 right here, is Hickey, who's had 7 innings pitched, 98 pitches, 3 strikeouts, 3 hits, 4 walks, 2 runs conceded, but overall, a pretty solid start. The 1-0 to Fantone. That one's also taken outside, on the corner now, for strike 1. That actually looked more outside than the first pitch, but once again, it's hard to tell from the press box. We have that slight view bias to the right from my seat. That's going to be a line drive from Fantone, and a good play there by Colgate to pull it down. So, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th, and that will bring up Curran Minor. Minor was able to advance on an error last time, and will hope to get a first hit of the game here. There's a drive deep to center field. It's going to go off the wall, so it'll be extra bases for Curran Minor. That's a great hit right there. And Morris wasn't able to track it because it did bounce off the wall. That puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Alexis Chevalier. And this is a very home run friendly park. So at any other college, that very well could have been a game-winning walk-off shot. But that still does the job for the Spartans. It sets them up really nicely for Chevalier. One out. Runner on second. Chevalier. That one's taken. Strike 1. Chevalier 0 for 1 today. Had a sacrifice and hit by pitch, but also grounded out. Chevalier is going to ground it over to second. The throw to first is in time. It will advance. Curran Minor to third. And now Alexa Russo could be a hero for the Spartans. Any hit that can bring Minor home would win game 1 for the Spartans. It feels weird to be playing this late and still having 1 game to go, but thanks to the inclement weather that we'll probably have tomorrow, stay safe everyone, of course, with any weather and things that come our way. We'll have to see. We had to move these games up. Well, it's given us some nice Friday night action under the lights here at Namoli Family Stadium. Russo takes that one for strike 1. Maya Moy would be on deck and ready to go for Florida Southern if we go into the next inning. That one's going to be taken high for ball 1. So 1-1 here to Russo. The 1-1. Russo lines it down the right field, but it's going to just stray foul. So the count will be 1-2. Miranda Perez on deck. Perez is filled in for Siegel. Is 0 for 1 so far. But right now, all eyes are going to be on Russo and on Hickey, who's ready to go from the circle for the 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Runner on third would be the winning run. That one's taken high for ball 2. Good eye there by Russo to not get fooled by the riser. And we'll go again. Crunch time with 2s all across the board. And someone looking for hit number 2 as well. That's going to be grounded to third. Not fielded cleanly enough to throw to first. Not in time. The Spartans win game number 1 of the doubleheader. And on that play, it just wasn't fielded cleanly enough by Moy. So the Spartans will be able to get Minor home and win game number 1. Russo will be delighted with the walk-off error. Spartans win 3-2 in 8 innings. The win will go to Mary Beth Feldman, who pitched 8 innings of clean work. For Hickey was 7 2/3, and she'll take a loss. And after what was a really solid start for her first start of the season, I know she'll be disappointed to have it end that way. But we have 1 more game to go. We're not done yet with Spartans softball. We'll be right back for game 2 of the Spartans and Mocs in this doubleheader Friday night under the lights. Thank you for tuning in. Tampa Spartans TV for game 1. I'll be Taylor Storthy. Please stick around, or if you can open up a second browser, tune in to Tampa Spartans Lacrosse, which is also getting started shortly.